This is a demonstration video of lizard pose, Utahan Pristhasana. So I'm going to teach it as if I were teaching my class, my weekly virtual class, which is targeted to older women. So we'll feature some modifications, and we'll move the cat. All right, so I think we'll start on all fours. Okay, so Harp, you want to scoot over? And it's good to brace the hands and the shins and draw the shoulders back. So we'll also go in and out of plank pose, which, as you know, is really good for bone density and core strength. And it's really good if you extend the heels way back. So go ahead and plant the ball of your foot, the right foot, extend that leg and just push into that and let that heel extend way back so that we kind of get used to having that leg extended with the heel extended back. So nice long back of the leg. And then we'll come up into downward dog. So first roll your shoulders and make sure those are also going back down the spine away from you. And we'll come into downward dog on an exhale. First curl your toes underneath you, extending those heels even here. And then on an exhale, lift your sit bones up to the sky and breathe. Inhale and exhale. And if you want, you can paddle the feet on an exhale. Drop one heel as you bend the opposite knee. Inhale, extend the legs. Exhale, paddle the other foot, dropping the heel to the ground. And come on down again to your knees to hero's pose because we want to set up our blocks first. So we're going to take both blocks and we're going to put them in the upper left-hand corner of the mat. And then our left hand will just place right behind those blocks so they're ready for us when we come to lizard. So again, come into all fours, draw your shoulders down your spine, curl your toes, and on an exhale, just lift yourself floating up into downward dog. And if you want to paddle your feet again, that's fine. Enjoy the long spine. Enhance by keeping those shoulder blades, drawing down the back so that your shoulders and arms are nicely placed and so that this isn't anything of a strain. Inhale and exhale, and then the next time you inhale, draw the right leg, let it float up into the sky, and let your toes point to the sky and just feel the length and the liberation and expansion of this three-legged dog. And then we're going to bend the knee. We're going to draw it towards our nose. And we're going to accent the action of activating our core. And then bring the right foot forward next to your right hand and come into runner's lunge. Inhale and exhale. Enjoying this. And then we're going to go ahead and start by dropping the knee. What I tend to do in my classes is start with sort of a soft beginning, and then people can draw themselves into something more challenging if they want. Place both hands on the blocks. Inhale and exhale. What I want you to do is just wiggle your right foot into that space on the mat. So this bent knee is going to stay at a 90-degree angle. And go ahead and drop that left hip flexor, so you might need to slide the left foot back a little bit and just feel the stretch in that front hip flexor. So this is a hip opener for both sides, kind of like pigeon is. You can really feel some hip action happening here, and then the front of the left hip flexor is stretching as well. So you have your hands on your blocks. Now, if you want, you can bring your forearms down to the blocks. So the blocks provide, as was stated in one of your demonstration videos, the blocks lift the floor up to you. So this helps if you need, sort of a mini step on the way to something deeper, or you can stay here if you want. Inhale and exhale here, and just feel the opening and the action. Make sure nothing hurts. It should feel juicy and opening. And if you want to intensify this pose, you can curl your toes of the left foot and extending that left heel back, curling the toes underneath. You can lengthen that leg and bring up the knee from the floor, or not. Up to you. And now you have another option for intensifying. You can let those blocks go and just use your hands, and then eventually with that leg lifted or the knee down. So you have lots of options. Come down to your forearms and just breathe here. And if you want anything more intense, you can go ahead and wrap your hand around that right calf just to give a binding feeling here. Activate your core. Make sure that left leg is nice and strong behind you. Inhaling and exhaling. And then to come out of this, we'll go ahead and drop that knee, and we'll drop both forearms and push into our hands and straighten the arms. And then just slide that right foot back. And bring your hands under your shoulders. Dig into your fingertips a little bit, just to make sure that the weight on your hands is spread evenly throughout the hands and you're not straining your wrist. And circle those shoulders, and now we're going to come into plank pose, which might feel easier or not. Activate your core, extend those heels way back behind you, extend the shoulders down your spine, and breathe. And push up into downward dog. And this becomes your resting pose. So that's lizard. Lizarding yourself onto the ground, spreading out your feet, dropping onto your forearms, and opening up the hips.